I still want to point out, though, the fact that the internal batteries were meant to run 10 years, that is some foresight. The problem is, it's like a lot of games and fan games that I have, they all go through Kanto, and you can only experience Kanto so much before it goes stale. When does Bellsprout evolve in the Weeping Bell? Is it 32? I can't remember off the top of my head. Yep, that's what Giggle is for. Oh. Literally the next level. Interesting. Now in this game, you'll move away far enough for me to get back behind you and get that item. I have to come back here with Cut. Which, I like how they handle HMs in this game. Here's a tale as old as time. But, it's still not a good matchup, so... Sorry. Yeah, I'll keep you in. Well, if I get the Aerodactyl, that will take care of the flying problem I have. Ironically. Huh. Oh yeah, that's right, you were here. I was like, was there a fisherman before you make it to Bill's house? Yeah, I remember now. And you're the trader that wastes my time, aren't you? Oh no. And you're one level off from learning an actual attack. One thing I will give Magikarp is it's fast. Unusually fast for how weak it is. Though I still don't understand why it wasn't Magikarp instead of Goldeen that became the waste of the Pokeball in Smash Brothers. I mean, I guess the Magikarp would make more sense, but still, that does bother me. I think it's the first time we've seen Krabby. At least, physically. So, in the original, Kingler was actually drawn wrong. Like, several Pokemon. Kingler doesn't have two big pincers. It has one big one and one small one. That is true. I'm surprised they haven't by now. But, how that it actually makes sense because actual crabs and lobsters, they have one bigger claw than the other. One's for crushing and one's for, wow. One's for catching, one's for crushing. Well, should I break out the British accent for Bill? I'm going to warn you, it's not very good. Hiya, I'm a Pokemon. No, I mean, I'm Bill. Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemon fanatic. Hey, what's with that skeptical look? I'm not joshing you, pal. I screwed up an experiment and got combined with a Pokemon, so how about it? Help me out here. I'm gonna climb inside the teleporter, so you run the cell separation system for me. You can do it from that PC over there. You're gonna do it for me, right? Don't leave me hanging. I'm counting on you, pal. Whoa, I should get in there. Don't mess this up, okay? I know. I love it. It reminds me of Yellow Pikachu's reaction as well. Yeehaw! Thanks, bud. I owe you one. Hey, you've got your Pokemon box right there in your bag. Good job.
If you ever catch too many Pokemon and your box gets full, send some of those Pokemon to Professor Oak. I bet he'd be mighty thankful. Oh, look at me. I'd forget my own head if it weren't attached.
Me too, Bill. Me too.
I should do something to thank you, too. You did save me, after all. Here, maybe this'll do. That cruise ship, the SS Anne, pulls into port in Vermilion City. They invited me to some party on board, but I can't stand fancy gatherings. Why don't you go instead of me? There are a couple of tickets in there, so have some fun with a friend or something.
That reaction never gets old. Blake hang off the sofa for some reason. Do you see a bed in here? So, if you go back in, I believe he will talk to you about his favorite Pokemon. Maybe that is not this version. He doesn't talk about it. Ah, so it's different.
Here I am at the Seafoam Islands in search for Pokemon I've never seen before. I came across some rapids underground that were too fast to swim across. I was exploring that area when suddenly I was hit by a blast of freezing cold. It was as if I was stuck in a blizzard. It got so cold I began to black out. As my consciousness faded, I saw a pair of shiny wings over the waves. Could that have been the legendary Pokemon Articuno? When I came to, I was lying on the ground outside of the cave for some reason. I need to practice my swimming so that next time I can capture Articuno for sure. Spoilers! Here I am at the abandoned power plant in my search for Pokemon I've never seen before. I had no idea you could reach this place by swimming from that spot on Route 10.
Also, that is the place I recommend you hunt Dratini if you want a good one or even a shiny one.
As I was exploring, one of the Pokeballs lying around suddenly attacked me. It made a huge explosion and knocked me out. But I do remember seeing some jagged-looking wings as I blacked out. Could that have been the legendary Pokemon Zapdos? When I came to, I found myself lying outside the power plant. As soon as I become able to withstand those explosions, I'm going back to catch Zapdos.
Good luck with that.
Here I am in Victory Road.
You know, it never really made sense that Moltres was just randomly in Victory Road. I guess they really did have nowhere else to put it. I guess Cinnabar Island would have made sense, but...
It seems you can't get very far without doing something about the stone walls in the way. As I was exploring the cave, I saw the most beautiful Pokemon. It was so beautiful that I got overwhelmed and passed out. As I did though, I saw it flap its brightly burning wings. Could that have been the legendary Pokemon Moltres? When I came to, I was all alone.
Yeah. The torch that sets off the Pokemon League Championship, yep. So coach trainers are completely optional, but worth it if you do topple them. I love that animation for Seismic Toss in this game. She's like, go to space! Yeah, I figured. It's not a bad move. It's what everyone runs on Blissey. When Officer Jenny gets trolled by a Squirtle. Of course, remember, the Squirtle Squad were delinquents originally. I love how Team Rocket, it wasn't even subtle about this. Yeah. I'm surprised that they haven't done that as a concept, like maybe a rivalry or something. Who would work? I feel like Detective Eevee should be female, so it's like, who would be a good foil for Ryan Reynolds? There you go, Phantom Thief Eevee. Yes, I like that. And who would make for a good foil for Ryan Reynolds? $420 polka dollars. That makes sense.
Bah.
I also love how that becomes one of the only paths to exit the city. It's like, that wasn't built very well, was it? Pidgeotto already, huh? And another rat. Forget what purpose this serves, if it's still just a daycare. Oh yes, the Hyper Trainer. I don't remember how you get bottle caps in this game. Now, it's just traditional Pokemon daycare, and because of that, there is no breeding in this game, I'm afraid. Believe me, if breeding were a thing, I would have broken this game long ago. I always forget what their excuse is in this game. I'm on guard duty. I take my duty very seriously. But gee, am I ever thirsty. Wish I had some tea to drink. Oh, hold on there, kid. I'm afraid I can't let you pass through here. It still would be fun. It still cracks me up. It's like, no, kid, you can't come through here. Why? The city's fine. I'm thirsty. What?
Oh, hey, Jay. That's becoming a thing now. Seems like we can't pass through the gate there. But the underground path should take us to Vermilion City. It's a bit dark and spooky, though. Huh? Hold still for 1 sec.
This is awkward.
I was wondering what that sparkly thing was. This was stuck in your hair.
I need an adult.
Revise can heal Pokemon that have been knocked out in battle. I have a few extra, so here, take some of mine too. Maybe those will help you take on the next gym. Huh? Are those SS tickets you have? Here, take one. Hey, are you sure I can have this? You know I'm definitely going, right? Where'd you get this anyway? You got it from that talking Pokemon? Oh, it was a person after all? Well, I guess that's good to hear. Hey, just forget about that whole thing, okay? I think I'll press on ahead. See you there.
Well, that was nice and awkward. That's your tip, by the way, that your partner is the item finder. If I recall correctly, I believe you can find the vitamins down here, extra vitamins down here. Or selling items. I mean, those are helpful too.
Also, what is a feather doing down here?
Who just drops a ball of gold down here. Really now. Then again, I am questioning Pokemon logic here. Also, this is a tip to try this in all other versions of the underground paths. Play your Iron Fighter. You never know what you might find down here. Just a potion. Whoop-de-doo. Alright. I think it's the other underground path that had an in-game trade. Alright. Well, let's get to Vermilion City and do a couple things there. And I believe that's where I'm going to end things off. Which is ironic because I think this is around the same place I ended the first part of my Fire Red playthrough. Because traders are optional. Most of them are. Ooh, Vulpix. I think the final 2 trainers on the way in, though, are not skippable. Yep, you have to fight them. I'll fight the rest of them off screen. Charmander versus Charmander. Well, at least it ain't Metapod versus Metapod. We're pretty evenly matched. I think mine's a little bit stronger. Yeah. Don't give up. Keep fighting. You know, I'm surprised, though, with the way those 2 trainers are placed, that it's not a multi-battle. And I have a Charmeleon following me around. Oh. Yeah, there really should have been, like, more double battles besides just Jesse and James. Those 2 being the obvious ones. And that makes sense for them because that's always been their thing. Even double battling when it was not a format. I think these all have something interesting to say. Fruity Edition. Okay. That's right. It's Pewter City's Pewter Crunchies. Well, I guess every region has to have some sort of signature food, doesn't it? They're rugged and bumpy and brown, and honestly, they just look like a bunch of rocks. But what really matters is the taste, so dig right in. And it's so hard. Hard to stop eating just after what I mean. Yes, these snacks are as hard as that Geodude used by Brock of the Pewter City Gym. I see. Here's another interesting in-game trade. You can take this Geodude for an Alolan Geodude. Yeah. If Jesse and James were actually more competent, the tag teams that they use, the Pokemon that they pair with, are actually very good. Alright. This project was never finished. It's 5. Okay. PA construction. No. The state I live in is worse. They've been working on the same thing for the past, gosh, I think it's actually been about 6 years now. Of course, when it comes to PA specifically, you're not wrong, especially around Washington, PA. I swear they can never figure out what they want with that interstate. Oh, hey, look, it's the metal slime. Too bad Chansey's not exactly the easiest thing to capture. I love how in some games, too, that you straight up just have a bunch of Chansey or Blissey trainers. Or, like in X and Y's case, you have a bunch of Audino trainers. Well, the Meowth ain't spawning here, so... guess that's something else off screen I'll have to do. Oh, this guy. I just want to point out, I never see those. I never really paid attention to these pictures. Well, there's his Fearow, but his that Eevee looks horrified. The Pikachu's content, but the Eevee just looks horrified. And I do admit, yeah, I understand the hype behind Rapidash. It's not the best battling Pokemon. It's not bad in a playthrough, and it's a very majestic horse. I get what they're going for with it. Well, it just says, and my adorable Pokemon and me. Oh, maybe I read a creepypasta. Maybe. Yeah, about that. That is the gym requirement. Get rid of the tree. And it's like, duh. The copy pasta. What does that mean? Oh, Farfetch'd. You were terrible until Gen 8. I almost said 7, that's not right. And even then, you were still just, eh. I would say above average. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. Alrighty then. So I miscalculated on how many Meowth I had to capture, and I just need to capture a few more Pokemon to get the Squirtle, it seems. So we're just going to save here, and we're going to call it here. So, Gen 7 was also this game, which is weird to me. So, we're just going to save here. I'm going to do a few things off screen, such as also trying to find some better Bellsprout, possibly. So, and that's going to be all the time that we have. So until next time, Ryo Nakage 33 signing off.